and welcome back. We are live on Aero-TV, the 55th annual AEA convention and trade show. Jim Campbell's taking a quick break. I'm Tom Patton, happy to be here, and I'm happy to be here with Andy Davis from Trig Avionics. I knew I would mess that up, Andy.
That's okay.
It just had to be that way.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. Now, we've got a little thing here for you're looking at the light sport and GA market, which is maybe a little bit of a departure for some of the folks at this show. But you've got a product here that you've rolled out today that is a match for one of your existing products. Just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, what we have, and it's sitting right here, is our new VHF radio, which is, it's a two-part solution, so it has a very small control head, and then the remote unit, which you can mount anywhere in the airframe. Some of the light sport aircraft have limited panel space, or when I say light sport, some of the vintage airplanes, some of the older designs are like that as well, where they can't fit a full-size radio in that panel space, but they can certainly fit one of these controllers. Take the remote radio, mount that under the seat, down the back, wherever you need it to be, and you have a full-featured system in the tiniest of space.
So really, what was it that caused you to go small?
It was that desire to target these small airplanes with very limited panel space. We do actually think that, certainly from a market point of view, that's where a lot of things are going. Whether it's the price of gas or just people's limited budgets that they can't afford. You do see people trading down in airplane size, and actually if you can make the avionics trade down so that you still have much the same capability that you have in big airplane avionics, that's been a trend in everything, of course, where making more fit into a smaller space, and we think we've done a great job on that with the radio, and previously with the transponder product, which is the one that you see next to it in our little panel there.
So it's a full-featured radio.
Oh, absolutely. It's a 6-watt transmitter. It has both headset outputs, and it can drive a cabin speaker. You can plug in 2 headsets, and it has a built-in 2-place intercom. So that for a small airplane, this one piece of equipment may be the entire avionics stack. VHF com, intercom, everything you need.
What kind of reaction are you getting so far? I mean, the show's just only open today. People have been coming around. What do they tell you when they see a product that's just, that is this size?
Well, they do indeed say, "Wow, that's small." I mean, we put up pictures in the new product introduction this morning, but to some extent, you do have to see it.
That's on a big screen.
Yeah, that's on a big screen. You say, "Well, it really is that small," and then. It's interesting, people start listing airplanes. Oh wow, a Luscombe, somebody said. That would fit behind the panel of a Luscombe. And so it really is hitting that target. People immediately saying, wow, I can see where that fits, especially the installers here who've struggled to make things fit, and panel real estate is becoming more scarce as people want bigger, if you stick an iPad on your panel, then there's not much panel left for the real avionics to take up the space.
I'm assuming that you've actually flown it a lot. Do you find that the size gives pilots any kind of issue with being able to, for instance, see the gauges, manipulate the controls, those kinds of things?
No, it's not too much of a problem. The displays are pretty readable. The knobs and controls that we use are full-size knobs with nice clicky feel, so you can operate it with gloves or in an open cockpit airplane. That's important, or just pressing the buttons. There are some compromises made to make it fit into that size. It's not what you'd find on the flight deck of a Boeing, but it's perfectly usable and very fit for purpose.
Now, you said you're also doing a lot of ADS-B work, that you're rolling out some products here at AEA as well?
That's correct. On all of our transponder product line, we have recently updated the software and capabilities to get the latest TSO C166B approval. We're actually the first people in the world to have 166B, so that's quite exciting for us. But in order to roll that out into GA airplanes, we do actually need to do STC work as well. The current position of the FAA, who are actually a little nervous about rolling out the whole next-gen stuff. They want to see some track record, some credibility in the initial installs, and so they're looking for STCs for all those installs. We're partnering with a company in Colorado called Peregrine, who are working with us on putting together a series of STCs for a variety of different airplanes, because the idea is, of course, to get to AMLs and then into field approvals, because there's a lot of airplanes that are going to need to be updated with the ADS-B capability, and we're trying to provide components of that, including, as I say, paperwork support through the STC process that'll get that out there.
How are you finding that things like ADS-B are being accepted in the GA community, and is it affordable enough for general aviation pilots to be up to that latest technology?
That's a good question. That in some ways is the question. The deadline for equipage is 2020. A lot of people are saying, well, you know, that's a long way away. That's 7.5 years now until 2020. So maybe I can wait. Other people in the industry, though, are concerned because there's something like 170,000 airplanes need to be updated between now and 2020. And if we don't get started soon, there just isn't the capacity in the avionics shops to do that wholesale upgrade. What we're trying to do with our STC program is show that it's not that hard. We're working on training materials, support materials, how to do it kits that we can give to the avionics shops and show them, you know, that it's not so scary that you can't tackle it and do this kind of work. But that's going to be a challenge, and I think that there is still some missionary work or whatever you want to call it for the FAA particularly to persuade GA guys that, you know, this is going to enhance safety, it's going to improve separation, it's going to improve the services that you get, and there are benefits for putting ADS-B in your airplane that go beyond what you get with a radar transponder at the moment, and that they should really be thinking about that sooner rather than later. You might say, I would say that, I'm a vendor, I'm trying to sell gear,
right.
but really there are benefits and there are opportunities, and we are trying to make it more affordable. I think the affordability one, though, I have to say, that's the tricky one. A full ADS-B solution today does involve a transmitter portion for which a transponder is a good solution. You need a transponder in your airplane anyway, and so using the transponder as your ADS-B transmitter is the way to go, we think. You do, however, also need a certified GPS receiver to provide the position information. And today, there are not solutions geared just at that ADS-B portion. Anybody who's doing a fully certified GPS receiver is doing it as an IFR navigator. And it's therefore going to be expensive because it's going to have all the other features.
Right.
I think we need to see something coming down market. Over the next year or so, you might expect to see something. You might even expect to see something from Trig that does make that more affordable. It's still going to be $5,000, $6,000 for an airplane owner to go ADS-B, and that can be a chunk of change for someone who's in a lower cost
flying
airplane.
on a budget.
Correct, absolutely.
Let's come back to this product that you brought us, and let's talk about price point, because it's a very interesting little radio. Is it affordable for the GA or sport pilot?
We like to think that it is. It is a fully certified radio, and there are cheaper radios on the market. There are uncertified, meaning non-TSO'd radios on the market. This is a TSO'd product, and therefore is a little more expensive. It comes in around $2,000 list price. You know, there may be some deals around on that, but that's about the price you should expect to pay for it. If you need something that fits in that space and in that size and in that capability, then that's good value. As I say, there are less expensive solutions as well. There's more expensive solutions too.
Is it an owner install item, or does it require a radio shop to put it in?
In a certified airplane, it requires a radio shop, so it is a certified install. It's pretty straightforward to do, but you do need a radio shop to put it in. For some of the light sport guys, the uncertified market, it's an owner install, and you can just go for it.
Look down 5 years into the future as you get into that place where ADS-B is starting to be more accepted and more people are getting them installed. What do you see for Trig Avionics as you move out and develop additional products?
We do have an ambition to have a broader range of products. we've got the VHF radio. We are going to have nav products and get into navcom type things. We have traffic products in the pipeline, and we do see ourselves having a reasonably full range, so that we can. We're perhaps not going to be Garmin, but having a good range of product that can satisfy most of the needs of a GA pilot.
And is this going to be your niche, the small light sport GA kind of pilot?
At the lower end of GA is our primary niche, yes, because our expertise is in making stuff small, making it lightweight, making it relatively low power consumption, all of which are things that appeal to those guys, and there's a lot of them.
Sure.
In the fleet of airplanes that's out there, the vast majority of them are not $1 million turbine palaces. They are at the low end, and therefore there's some good market there.
The airplanes for the rest of us.
Well, that's actually the kind of airplane that I fly. So I do have a 1960s Skyhawk, and that's the very meat and potatoes of flying.
And you've made me a little bit envious there, Andy. Thank you very much. Andy Davis with Trig Avionics, thanks for joining us on Aero-TV.
Thank you.
And we're live at AEA, the 55th Annual AEA Convention and Trade Show. We'll be back in just a moment. I'm Tom Patton on Aero-TV.
Aero-TV's live coverage of the 55th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.